By the end of this video, you are going to know everything about a fully funded scholarship that can help you move to Australia for free. It's an amazing scholarship, and this video is going to teach you everything about it. And of course, a lot of research went into this video, so I am going to create a sheet in my lovely database. And in this database, all the research that went into this particular video is going to go to that database. So you'll definitely go ahead, sign up for the database such that as we go along, if there are things that are difficult for you, can be like, oh my goodness, oh, let me go back to the database and check, what did they say? What are the priority sectors in my country? Like, you can go back and check, oh, they said that you're to write a particular document. How do you do it? The database is going to have all the links for you to do that, okay? So let's start here. We start with the myth versus the reality. So what is the myth? The myth is that this is like an academic prize scholarship for students with extremely high grades. That is not true at all. This scholarship is actually a diplomatic investment, and the Australian government is funding your capacity to solve specific development challenges in your home country. So that already tells you that you have to identify some challenge and then you work on it. I worked with some students a while ago, and that student was actually working she was doing something with reference to the mining in Ghana. So you have to identify a problem and then you work on that problem. So you have the development loop here. You have identify a home country priority sector. We spoke about that already. Acquire Australian technical and leadership skills. That is going to help you solve the problem. And then return and execute the Reintegration Action Plan. I think one of the things that we all, as someone that is applying for the scholarship, you have to pay attention to is that return. The loop closes when you return. This is one of those scholarships that does not let you stay in Australia after you're done with your studies. So when you're done, you will have to go back home. So you have to make that choice about, oh my goodness, do I want to apply for this scholarship or not, right? Because there are some people who use scholarships and study abroad as a means of migrating, right? Some people, they want to just solve some problems back home. So it depends on where you are at with it. You all let me know in the comment section, where are you with it? Are you someone that is looking for studying abroad and scholarships abroad as a means to migrate, or do you just want to go study and go back home? You let me know in the comment section. So let's look at the core eligibility for the scholarship. So you have work experience, strictly 2 to 5 years postgraduate work experience required. That is amazing. And then let's see age limits. Oh, they have strict caps, 25 and then 42. 25 and 42. That's a huge, what? That is a huge gap. Oh my goodness. Okay, that just took me by surprise. And then academic language, they have GPA strictly by country, of course, because it's like English is maybe like a first language in certain countries, but it is not the case in other countries. So they want to be considerate of different country and the English expectations that they are going to be having of the people that are applying for them. Y'all let me know, because that age gap or the age requirements took me by surprise. So number one, y'all let me know, where are you applying for the Australia Awards from? Like, what country are you applying from, and what are the age limits in your country? Because this 25 and 42 is crazy. Like, what is going on there? All right, so let's talk about the benefits of the scholarship. So this is a fully funded scholarship. You have 100% tuition is covered. They have your contributions towards your living expenses, establishment allowance, and then flight and the overseas health care insurance. All of that is taken care of. Fully funded, fully funded. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We love to see it. Then now let's look at the things that are not going to be covered. Dependents. Zero financial support. You pay all family visa fees, dependent travel, and family health care. So if you're a family person and you have to move with your family, know that you have to save up some money for you all to be able to move to Australia. And then application cost, out-of-pocket fees for IELTS, TOEFL, and then document notarizations and translations. This is practically the idea of, before you become our responsibility, prepare all your documents on your own, because at that time they are not even sure if they are going to give you the scholarship or not, right? So it's not like they can say, okay, we're going to pay for you to prepare your documents. No, that is definitely not possible. So yes, they always say fully funded scholarships, but preparing your documents to apply for the scholarship prior to you being chosen for the scholarship is your responsibility. You have to pay for that. Now let's look at the years. So we have February 1, the OASIS portal opens. That is a portal where you're going to be doing your application. And then April 30th, so this opened February 1. Now we are March ending, so all of April you still have it to apply for it till the end of April. You have a hard deadline. And then August to September, you are going to have shortlisting of like those that are chosen. Then they are going to have interviews, and then by late this year you're going to get the provisional outcomes are going to be announced, and then by October, November, they are going to have pre-departure briefings, and by early next year you all are going to be in Australia. It's an 18-month period. It's an 18 months application period. Most of the fully funded scholarships that I know that are run by governments, they work on this kind of a timeline. Like if you're going to go the next year, you start applying the year before. Australia Awards starts in February. The next Japanese government scholarship starts around April. So Australia Awards actually starts way earlier compared to the MEX scholarship. So now let's look at the process. Stage 1, you're going to do the OASIS screening, which is the portal where you have to fill up the things. Ruthless elimination for missing documents, incorrect naming conventions, or using the exact mandated templates. Okay. Stage 2, eligibility and alignment, filtering out candidates who do not perfectly align with bilateral priorities. I really want to talk a little bit about this because different locations or different regions have different things that they are focused on. If you're going to be applying for the scholarship, you have to make sure that you fall within the priority area of your country. So let's do a little check here. Y'all let me know, number one, where are you applying from, and what is the priority area in your country? What is the priority area for the MEX scholarship in your country? Y'all let me know in the comment section, okay? And then we have the interview room. Shortlisted candidates face a panel evaluating the academic competence, leadership, and development impact. I can imagine. But I've gone through that process before. And then you have stage 4, provisional offer for placement. Offer is conditional. If you fail the pre-departure English requirements or fail to secure a university placement and a subclass 500 visa, the offer is withdrawn. This is very, very common to the MEX Japanese government scholarship. But to be honest with you, I have never ever seen anybody that got selected for the scholarship and wasn't able to secure some kind of an admission or wasn't able to get the visa. To apply for the visa, you practically tell them that I am applying for the visa because I have gotten the scholarship, and it is same office, same people, so they cannot refuse to give you the office. Like it's at the embassy, so they cannot refuse. The embassy cannot give you the scholarship and then refuse to give you the visa. Like it makes no sense at all. And Australian universities, the participating universities, are aware. They are aware that students are applying, so as long as you secure that money, because proof of funds and budgeting is something that is really huge for international students, and universities really filter students based off of that. So if you've already secured funding, the chance that you're going to get in is extremely high. Okay, all right, let's look at the academic, what is going to make you fail and what is going to make you win. Okay, so SOP focus, you focus on past high grades, university prestige, and desire to learn. That's not going to cut it. What are they looking for? They want you to focus on home country deficit. What are the problems going on in your country vis-a-vis those priority areas that they are focused on in your country? Leadership evidence, you have to show what you have been doing. A clear plan to enact policy or practice change. And then you have course selection. If you choose generic courses, e.g. general business administration, you are going to be rejected. You have to choose highly specific priority aligned courses like climate financing or public financial management with justification. So how should you position yourself? You must weave your CV, choice of Australian institution, your reintegration action plan into one coherent, undeniable narrative. This is actually sort of positioning yourself as an ideal candidate to get the scholarship, because when you're able to weave all of these things into what you're doing, it is just the bridging together of immediate goals, short-term goals, and long-term goals. How does all of that fit together. And if you're able to fit all of those things really nicely into a good puzzle and you're able to tell that story, the chances that you're going to get the scholarship is very, very high. So let's look at the core documents that you will have to submit for the scholarship. You need your passport, you need transcripts, you need certificates, and then your CV, which must use the official template. So look through the website in your country and then see what is the template that they are using. You also need your references. 2 reports required. One must be an academic supervisor. The second has to be someone related to professional or work supervisor. And they must use the Australia Awards referee template. So please do not make a mistake with that. Now let's look at the research hurdle. Masters by research / PhD only. You cannot just blindly apply. You require a 3-page detailed research proposal. This requires documented in principle support email letter from an Australian university supervisor who has already agreed to back your topic. Without this, your application is dead on arrival. I have heard so many students speak about this, their experiences trying to get professors in Australia and how difficult it has been. So y'all let me know in the comment section. Number one, are you searching for professors in Australia? How is it going? How hard is it, or how easy is it? What was your experience going through it? Y'all let me know in the comment section, okay? At least through sharing your experience, others can also learn and figure out what are the tips and strategies that they can use in order to get supervisors. All right, so the ultimate contract here, this is the return action plan, the reintegration action plan. Remember, the idea is that you have to return. You must return to your country. That is the contract that you are signing for. It is how the development people monitor your return on investment, because a scholarship is investment. They are giving you money hoping that you're going to go back to your country and solve a problem. So if you don't return, then the goal was not achieved, right? So it details exactly how you use your Australian knowledge to reform policy or practice in your home organization. Then let's talk about the interview that you are going to go through. Number one, they are looking for academic competence. Can you survive an Australian master's? I'm sure most of you can. And the development outcome is your, like the return, the reintegration action plan. Is it viable? Is it aligned with the priority sectors in your country where you're located? You need to be sure of that. Leadership attributes. Do you have any influence to sort of enact this kind of changes? Are you like someone who just got out of school and, no, they said 2 to 5 years work experience. So if you just got out of school, you cannot even apply for the scholarship because you're not eligible. But you need to be in a position where at least you can help influence policy, right? And then institutional knowledge. Why this specific Australian university? This is really, really similar to the MEX Japanese government scholarship, which I've done a ton of videos about, and you can see the kind of similarities between them and all of those things. Anyhow, let us look at the 2-year exclusion rule. You must leave Australia within 30 days. Oh my God. Whoa. Listen, there is strict and then there is this. Oh my God. Within 30 days of completion, you're legally barred from returning to Australia on any long-term or migration visa for minimum 2 years. Wow. I think this is a similar case to the Fulbright scholarship. I think if you get the Fulbright scholarship and you go to the US, you are legally barred from returning to the US for the next 2 years. I think so. And then the financial debt, failure to return home or attempting to migrate to Australia via another visa subclass results in illegal debt to the Commonwealth of Australia for the entire accrued cost of your scholarship. I remember when I was applying to extend my scholarship from master's to PhD, one of the questions that one of the supervisors on the panel, those of them asked, they were like, this is actually Japanese people's money. This is taxpayers' money. So what are you going to do for them? Like, justify why they should give you this money. This is the thing, when they talk about the Commonwealth of Australia, that sense of they have taken their people's money and given you. So if you do not follow the rules, then you are going to be owing because you have to pay back that money that they have given you. Zero flexibility, no course hopping without approval. You cannot defer if selected. You must take up the award in the year it is granted or forfeit it. No changing universities if you fail admission. Oh my goodness. What I'm going to tell you all is the Australian awards is really, really strict. Like with the next Japanese government scholarship, right? Which is the reason why I'm going back to it, is because that was my first and my main scholarship. With the Japanese government scholarship, if after coming to Japan, if something happens that requires you to sort of switch majors, they let you switch majors. If your professor is okay with it, they let you switch majors. If something happens and some unforeseen circumstances, something happens, they are flexible. But apparently the Australia Awards is not flexible at all. Oh my goodness, that is scary. And then of course, things that you should watch out for: fraud and plagiarism, zero tolerance, fraudulent documents, or AI generated SOPs will result in lifetime exclusion from Australia scholarships. Oh my goodness, lifetime. For for AI generated SOPs, that is crazy. Oh my goodness. Australia is super strict. Missing the fine print, applying without meeting the exact GPA cutoff, or submitting an IELTS score that was taken before the validity window. Oh my goodness. Unaligned course choices, applying for generic business management courses when your country's priority fields are strictly maybe agriculture, health, or infrastructure. That is why to apply for this scholarship, you have to start with what are the priority areas in my country. And when you're able to determine those priority areas, then that should tell you if you should apply or not, okay? And then the formatting failing to compile documents into a single correctly named PDF in the correct page order. Oh my goodness. Listen, one thing I'm going to tell, as someone who has applied for a ton of scholarships, and as someone who has gotten a ton of scholarships, this is very strict. Oh my God, Australia. Whoa, whoa, whoa. All right, let's look at the 2-year return is not a punishment. It's an acceleration of your local leadership trajectory. You join a global network of about 100,000 Australia Awards alumni. 97% of the alumni, they benefit from career opportunities, and then 71% of the alumni, they currently hold formal leadership positions. Oh wow. And then the reintegration reality, lack of resources, about 51% of students say they struggle. Resistance to change in my workplace, about 44% say they struggle. And then corruption and nepotism, 24%. So your reintegration plan must account for this systematic frictions. Oh my goodness. I think this is a very common thing when you're from whatever country that you're from. In fact, from whatever country, sometimes you can have hopes of, okay, I want to change this particular thing. I think change is needed here, change is needed here. And then you go to the place where you want to implement the change, and then you start finding out the realities of that place, and you're like, oh my God, this is going to be way harder than I expected. So have you all chosen like your topics, the things you would want to write about? If you have, let me know in the comment section, okay? So let's look at the go, no go checklist. Number one, diagnose eligibility, because that is very important. Things like GPA, age, 2-year work experience limit, check and be sure that you have them. Step 2, secure your IELTS or TOEFL immediately. I hope you all have already written for it, because deadline is next month, so you're rushing against a deadline. And then step 3, contact potential Australian academic supervisors. I already told you all to let us know in the comment section, have you gotten your supervisor? How did you get it? Many people have complained that it's hard, so if you've gotten it, share with us how hard or how easy was it for you. What tools did you use in order to search for them? And then draft your reintegration action plan, which tightly aligns with your country's bilateral priority sectors, because the idea is they are giving you money to go study and go back home, right? So they want to see the plan. And then prepare your financial reality for upfront application cost and dependent travel. But this really comes down to if you have a family or you do not have a family. If you don't have a family, the only thing that you have to worry about is your application documents. So this was a lot of information, like all put together and presented in this form, but a lot of research went into this, and I'm going to put all the individual research links in my lovely database, and I'm going to create the sheet for the Australia Awards. So if you're not subscribed to the database, go ahead, subscribe to the database, such that for all of these things, like even writing the research proposal or this reintegration plan, you're going to be able to go in there, see what articles help with that, and you can just check it and then write yours, check it and write yours. I hope that this was helpful. Subscribe to the database, like the video, share the video, and let me know in the comment section, was this helpful? I'm going to see you all in the next one. Cheers.